Luminosity versus EnVy to round out Sunday week 10. We'll have one more day to follow on Monday as well, obviously, because Sunday comes, well, Monday comes after Sunday, I should say. Yeah.
Depending on what world we live in, I guess.
Wow, what world do you live in where Monday doesn't come after Sunday?
I live in the world of the Phoenix.
Which Phoenix?
You don't want to know.
Solo lane Phoenix,
solo
that's what
lane
you should have said. So he had a prime opportunity there and he missed it. LG versus our boys EnVy is going to be what we're going to be commentating today. And EnVy, well, they've got themselves in a position right now where they're guaranteed to go into relegations. There's no way around it, ifs and buts, because their record against Allegiance just doesn't exist. And then LG, if they can find 2 wins here, they will guarantee that Denial cannot compete for that 4th place position and steal away any of their prize money.
And right now, like you mentioned, Allegiance does have the head-to-head against EnVyUs, which is why they can't overtake them in that position. And I believe Luminosity also have that head-to-head against Denial. So in that situation, let's go ahead and go to picks and bans.
Let's do it. Straight in. And it's going to be EnVy, first pick, first ban. LG are going to be the counter pick, counter ban. Look at you hosting. Look at you with your little...
One day.
We'll get hosting tomorrow. How about
You're going to get me hosting tomorrow?
You're going to host the whole day tomorrow.
The whole day.
The whole day.
How about a solo cast? Solo Dolo YOLO
You're going to solo cast tomorrow?
Solo Dolo YOLO?
Yeah, sure. I'll let the other casters know you're going to solo the whole day tomorrow. It's only 4 games.
I'll do it.
4 games? Whole day? Solo?
Just give me some goodies on the side, you know
what kind of goodies? You do realize Reddit will explode going, Tony's going to solo cast the whole day?
I mean,
you set yourself
it's
up
our
for
first
it now.
time, right?
I'm fine. I'll get the day off on Monday. I'm okay with this.
You guys can go on a boat together.
Oh, let's go to a boat. That sounds good. Go shoot the hooch. Sounds good to me.
I'll be flipping burgers and you'll be flipping copies.
Picks and bans are on, and bans are free.
Or vice versa.
Thorin Raijin banned by EnVy and Luminosity. They don't want to deal with Susano or Ao Kwang, so taking away the assassins from the EnVy jungler.
Having Susano on CycloneSpin, who's known to play assassins very efficiently right now, is a good idea to take that away from if you're Luminosity.
Well, Zeus first picked up for the mid laner here for EnVy. MLC Stealth will go back to that. Obviously, they don't look at banning Isis, which is quite surprising from EnVy, especially because Stealth hates dealing with that god in every way. Will we see LG pick it up?
It looks like there's going to be the Nemesis Athena. It's going to be very easy to try to dump a lot of abilities on top of the Zeus. Athena dash taunt could force an early purification out of the Zeus, and then just the damage out of Nemesis and any mid laner specifically will blow him up.
Well, I know right now for a fact that, you know, F.Dot's happy that Sobek got picked. That's all I know.
Sobek, man.
I listened to him Cash yesterday, and he was just talking about Sobek the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time.
That's F.Dot for you. He just lives and breathes memes.
He lives and breathes Sobek, Hebo, and Thanatos.
And Shock.
Shock as well, yeah, I forgot about that one. Well, we can't get all 3 of those on the side of EnVy, unfortunately. Maybe LG will look at picking one of those up. No, they will take the Isis, and Stealth must be there right now going, I hate you all, I hate you all, I hate you all. Not just to his EnVy team for not banning it, but for LG because they know he doesn't like it.
It's a nice combination that the Luminosity have currently between the Athena and the Isis. It's good setup. The taunt to set up the Spirit Ball, the damage from Nemesis, ulti, and the Isis Circle Protection is just going to do a lot to the Zeus.
Caravan coming through from LG next, and it will be the Awelix just to avoid the Sobek combination that can come from that with Jingwei locked in for EnVy. The lineup's looking pretty strong already, missing a support here at the moment. Sorry, they're not missing a support, I should say. They've got Sobek, so it's just the solo laner and their jungler they have to pick.
Good recognition from Luminosity, banning away the Awelish. You have the Sobek online available to you. The CycloneSpin has been known to play Awelish very often, even in the solo lane at times specifically, so instantly countering that.
And LG, well, they're expected to be in the top 3 this year. They're not going to make it. They're probably going to finish around 4th or 5th, more than likely 4th at the moment. But their roster seems to have finally found some synergy towards the end of the season. They had synergy at the beginning, but then, you know, it kind of drifted with Snoopy joining, switching roles, switching teams, and then them bringing in new player in Scary Day.
We kind of put Luminosity on a pedestal because of their previous performances in Season 1 Worlds and, you know, being very dominant Season 2 as well. Unfortunately, not finding the win against Epsilon was very disappointing for them, I'm sure. And now they've just been kind of falling off track ever since Season 3.
But that's kind of the story, though, is when you go into a new season, you look at past performances. That's all you've really got to go off. You can hear scrim results, but scrim results don't mean anything. You can run Hebo in a scrim and make it work and then have it in the Pro League and it doesn't work.
No, but instead of Hebo, we do have the Ravana in the solo lane for Luminosity. Scary D, he's going to be doing a lot of damage. Kiki, we'll see how he's going to be able to adapt.
Well, he should be fine over in the solo lane. Kiki's natural position was the solo lane, but he used to play a lot of mages back in that day.
He did play a lot of mages, but now he's going to be playing the Vamana against the Ravana, especially on Scary D. It should be very aggressive matchup for them.
Well, Stealth in the mid lane on the Zeus. He's going to go for the Helm option here. No power potion for him. Meanwhile, across the way, LG 2 power potions. BaRRaCCuDDa has picked up 1, as has andinster, and Cyclone 1 himself as well. Envy season so far, it's been a real troubled struggle for them for the whole season of just trying to find a roster that they're comfortable with, they're happy with, and when you think it's ready, well, then you get dust on your team. I mean, First Blood Prince.
The First Blood Prince, averaging a lot of gold per minute ever since his first experience.
The First Blood Prince, that's his new name. Can he find First Blood against BaRRaCCuDDa? That's the question.
Well, Zap eluded him, so now he's going to have to go on to
Zap didn't elude him. Zap died in lane. He didn't maybe die 1v1, but Zap and Aurora both died to dust at the start of the last set. So all Dust has to do here, as the First Blood Prince, is find a pick on Jeff and then a pick on BaRRaCCuDDa, and he can keep his title.
It's going to be difficult for Dust right now because the way the style for Luminosity is in the dual lane, they're very calculating. They don't have to play aggressive if they don't want to or if they know that they can't.
So you ready for this? Dust does not have Jingwei mastered. Just so you all know at home, Dust does not have Jingwei mastered. He has, I believe, 2 gods over rank 2 mastery, and that, I believe, is Anher, and it's Anher and somebody else he's got above rank 2. But Jingwei is unmastered. Unmastered.
So just playing on hardball right now is Dust, basically, is what you're saying?
Pretty much. It's just that confident. And obviously we can see TeeVee is the support here as well. I didn't mention this already, but Ionic not going to be playing this one. It's going to be TeeVee. So it's a Juice duo lane coming out here. And we'll see if the First Blood Prince gets the support that he got from Ionic out of TeeVee.
No, but it looks like JeffHindla is playing the matchup very well, playing very aggressive, dashing through the wave right now. And BaRRaCCuDDa not able to find the ricochet, but they're still putting a lot of pressure as the wave is about to reach the tower.
Well, he's going to lose 1 creep to the tower, but the rest will stay here with that throwing dagger. He should be able to clear it out quite nicely. And I just want to see this dual lane over and over, because Dust has been tucking out a big game after that fight against Eager. You know, he's like, okay, Barry's in my sights now. Can he find it?
Yeah, right now TeeVee, the way he's playing the matchup, he's not spotty blocking the dash, and Dust in response is taking a lot of poke as a result. Allowing JeffHindla to dash through the wave allows him to also clear with the shield wall under the archers whenever he wants to, and TeeVee has to kind of body block and not allow Jeff to do that.
Tuning into mid lane there, a bit of poke onto the side of Envy, but more onto TheBoosh, who had to take a lot of free poke and eat some of those potions that he had available to himself in that mid lane. Basically going with the power potion start though, does allow you to have that extra potion, which is very, very vital sometimes in these early aggressive games against the likes of a Zeus.
Especially if you're going to get stunned out by Isis as well, having the damage aligned for your Nemesis as soon as you hit level 5. That damage power spike for Luminosity should be able to get MLC stuff really low or have to back or kill him.
So still pressure over in the duo lane there as Luminosity continuing to farm up mid lane. They've got right-hand back harpies to go for if they want to. They don't want to do it just yet, as over on the right-hand side of things as well, Scary D is bullying Kiki under the tower, as you'd expect from a Ravana early game.
Which is, like I mentioned, not surprising. It's Scary D who's also very aggressive, and then you put him on Ravana. He is going to try to exploit a matchup like this. In the early game, Vamana is not very strong, so he has to be very careful. Using the umbrella ring just to tag the melee minions right now.
Good news for Dust, though. He did manage to go back to base and get the whole wave. He's obviously the passive from Jingwei coming into play to help out when you do get poked out early on. So it's not all doom and gloom for the duo lane so far. For 3 minutes in, everything seems okay. If you go to the experience graphs, you should see that LG will have a lead, and that's mainly from Scary D in the solo and a little bit from the duo.
Just a little bit of a lead right now with no objectives being stolen from Luminosity. There's just slightly aggressive in every single lane, it seems, and that's something that Envy is going to have to find a way to exploit and counter.
In the mid lane, just continuing to farm up. Once again, Luminosity just quite happy to farm things out. Speed buffs are available, and I think that's where we can see andinster on this right-hand side here, trying to catch the rotation from Cyclone towards his own speed. And he knows it's open. Cyclone recognizes it too. Meanwhile, MLC Staff going to take the back harpies here before he soaks up the mid wave. But this gives so much pressure now for Luminosity to steal away the speed buff.
They push the mid wave right now. The back harpies are done. Looks like Envy is going to concede the mid wave just to be able to defend their speed buff.
But now they're under pressure. His Stealth has to pop the ultimate, and the Fear No Evil comes out too. But Scary D is here with the punch power to get first blood. BaRRaCCuDDa follows up onto CycloneSpin, and Kiki's just waiting around the corner like, okay guys, there's 4 here. I will try an Umbrella Rang, but if not, I'm leaving.
And this is the problem when your solo lane is just weaker on in the early game. You're going to get out-pressured and out-rotated. And right now, Kiki's going to have to use his ultimate just to possibly escape.
But he's going under his tier 2 tower for safety. ScaryD doesn't care, though, because his punch power is better than the big baby can do. He will fall down. They'll also lose the blue buff on this right-hand side. Luminosity off to a flying start in less than a minute after I last said it was 3 minutes.
We talked about how they're playing very aggressive early on, just getting a small golden experience lead. And now, because of the speed and the blue buff, they've established themselves with an over 2,000 lead on both sides.
Absolutely crazy. TeeVee on the left-hand side, though, is going into the jungle here, just going to ward up Gold Fury and that left-hand side exit. Just keep an eye on where BaRRaCCuDDa's rotating to and where Jeff is. And, well, Jeff on the Athena as well, he can get around the map very, very quickly, so TeeVee needs to keep an eye on that.
And that's something that EnVy could potentially exploit. If Luminosity is going to continue to play aggressive in the solo lane on the next speed and the next blue buff respawn, EnVy can capitalize by forcing the Gold Fury. They have the Sobek ultimate, they have the Zeus ultimate to secure it.
So just farming through the jungle at the moment, and everyone's quite happy. LG doing the blue buff on their own, speed buff on the right-hand side of the map there. You can see ScaryD just doing that one himself. He's not really too worried now after stealing away and stripping the jungle. He's got a great lead now already over Kiki. And some of that is down to obviously stealing the jungle, but the others is because of the extra kills he got.
And now when you have a 2-level advantage this early on, 9 versus 7, that's a huge power spike right now, which could be exploited considering the fact that Kiki's ultimate is still down. This tower can be easily dove, and that's exactly what's going to happen. The ultimate's not there. The dash is also down for Kiki, and that's a free kill.
Yeah, ScaryD just doesn't care. Solo by ScaryD. And ScaryD's season so far, it's not been too bad. He struggled a little bit against Baskin when we saw him up against Saw there. But what you'd expect against Baskin, considering the best solo lane in the world, ScaryD, though, his replacement on this lineup has done well. But TeeVee surrounded by 2 members here. Tail whips, trying to create room to dash away. Manages to dash away. Look, in the waters is good. The mobility is better to keep him away from andinster, who was thinking about the second dash. Changed his mind. TeeVee will survive the gank, but there's still an opportunity now for LG to be aggressive, knowing the support has to base.
They have a 5v4 power play as TeeVee. It does have to rotate back, using his ultimate as well to escape. He had to pop the sprint as well, so that's going to be a huge important relic. If Luminosity try to force a team fight, they recognize that, hey, we have Shell, and the Sobek doesn't have his sprint.
And we just saw Dust go back to base there. BaRRaCCuDDa called it out, and immediately LG go to the Gold Fury. They're going to bring this one down very quickly, and nobody's going to be there to be able to respond in time. Gold Fury, the way of LG, and the Gold League continues.
Luminosity looking really on point right now, and now because of this Gold Fury, this is going to open the door for the solo lane side. Your Ravana is already so far ahead, and because you stole the speed buff and the blue buff earlier, you know when that timer's coming up, and you should be ready for it.
Kind of like the idea of Kiki here. Try and proxy the wave and stay away as far as possible away from ScaryD now. If he gets in trouble, he just needs to back and just keep doing this over and over again. Creates a little bit of room for himself. He doesn't want to fight this Ravana in lane.
That's something that he has to do. He has to isolate the minion wave away from anybody from Luminosity right now. And overextending that far without Gold Fury being up for your team to capitalize on, if you get rotated, could put you in an awkward position.
Talk about awkward position. You saw that ward go down from ScaryD there with the speed buff again. Luminosity well aware it's available. TeeVee here to defend this time though. Tail whip on the mark. Cyclone strike a little bit off. Doesn't manage to find anything. But this time, 4 members of EnVy are here to defend the speed buff. They should be able to secure this themselves.
However, Ravana is teleporting in after he did back to base. He pushed the right-hand side, so there's going to be a wave on the right-hand side that Kiki is going to try to go to, but he's going to get aggressed on.
Oh, Kiki's in a lot of trouble here. You saw the ult early from ScaryD to close the gap onto him, but the big baby forms on. But you've not got many protections anymore. He's only 1 hit from death, but he will get away. In the jungle, though, a lot of pressure onto JeffHindla there, who has to jump away from the danger, as we saw Dust made the rotation here and hit him with the gust.
Looks like both teams are just going to reset right now. hi-rez, BaRRaCCuDDa on the left-hand side, going to get a free wave under the tower. However, Dust is going to back, and he should be able to defend it with his passive.
Back there in time for the passive. He'll probably leave like 2 creeps in terms of golden experience, but he'll be able to get the rest. Speed buff, though, defended from EnVy, and instead, Dust actually going to lose that whole wave to the tower and opt instead to go for the back harpies.
If it's going to be a wave without the big gladiator minion, then you are going to lose a lot. So I like the idea that Dust has here. He's just going to be able to capitalize on the farm, get these buffs on timers as soon as possible for the rest of his team to keep maximizing their farm potential.
We're just going to see him just under level 11 here. BaRRaCCuDDa in lane is already level 11 with another wave coming in, so good opportunity for Barra. He's going to head back to base and pick up his Warrior Tabby. Meanwhile, Dust did pick up Ninja Tabby here, so gone for the attack speed option. Relatively even between the 2 boots. Obviously, early game, you want the extra power, but as the game goes on, as a hunter, the attack speed does help a little bit more.
It does help, but if you're a hunter such as hi-rez right now, having that extra physical power for your ricochet, if it double, triple taps, is going to allow you to do more damage to the enemy whenever you can catch them off guard like that.
Cyclone was heading towards the red buff on the left-hand side, just trying to see if it's available at the moment. Trying to catch BaRRaCCuDDa on a rotation. BaRRa's going to spot Cyclone before he does, as Jeff does catch Stealth trying to back on this left-hand side. Former teammates as well. Stealth knows this lineup very, very well, so he knows exactly how these guys will play.
And that's something that EnVy has to their advantage, the fact that they have a little bit of experience, not only playing against it, but they had some members within the team, as andinster is going to play aggressive on top of Kiki yet again.
Constantly trying to focus Kiki down here, pop the ultimate early, force him away, but Kiki, with the mobility of a Vamana, just manages to stay out of the danger zone, and knowing that ultimate's on cooldown for, well, a few seconds, we'll say nowadays, because it used to be a lot longer. He'll be okay for now.
And now, because Kiki does get poked out, it's going to be trying to be a 2v1 situation in the solo lane. Kiki very low right now, and he's forced to pop the ultimate.
3 members here, because Jeff rotated in 2. They will pick him up for free. Fear No Evil's on the mark onto ScaryD, but ScaryD still very, very tanky and will survive. Luckily, though, TeeVee is here in support at level 8. Going to find the flip, but at the same time as the ultimate from ScaryD, so the immunity pays off for him.
Beautiful ultimate from ScaryD, allowing him to disengage from danger. He's not going to have his teleport available to him, but he doesn't care because the members of EnVyUs did back, so he's just going to be able to clear the wave on top of andinster backing him up.
Just slow, consistent play from LG that's paying off every single time. They're finding kills over and over again. Clearly, Kiki being so focused in the solo lane, and this brings back to me again, when the speed buff was in the meta towards the end of last season, we saw a lot of solo lane focus from junglers, and towards the end of this split, we're seeing a lot more again from both EU and NA. Focus the solo laner, bring them down, give your solo laner a lead, and then snowball the game from there.
This is something that andinster has been consistently doing in the past, where whenever speed buff was a thing, he would always play very aggressive with Omega. Omega would always try to find advantage in the solo lane, find a bullying opportunity. andinster would complement that, and the blue buff and the speed buff would fall into the favor of C9 back then, and this is something that Luminosity has now started to pick up yet again.
Yeah, ScaryD seems to be turning into that role that we saw out of Omega as well, just going for the bullying option, supporting andinster as he does go aggressive is in mid lane. They've got 3 members grouped up here, and JeffHindla looking towards the right-hand hop. He's there due to spawn. TeeVee trying to create his zone at level 9, a level behind, but immediately gets ulted, and now he's plucked himself into place. He's in a lot of trouble here, surrounded by 3, no support from his team. He's going to fall down for the 6th kill of the game as ScaryD and Andy look to invade with Jeff on the speed.
Just a little bit too far out. Speed buff and blue buff were coming up, and finding that early pick is going to allow Luminosity to instantly steal these 2 buffs away from EnVyUs, and the next objective from there is going to be the solo lane tower.
They will get the blue buff on the right-hand side there. Solo lane tower does still stand at half health. The pressure in mid here, but Dust turns up as well, so 3 members grouped together, and you can see that all the focus from LG is just strip the jungler, maybe swing around the back to try and pressure this tier 1, and it's actually forcing Stealth to play very far back.
I love this rotation from BaRRaCCuDDa, just putting pressure onto the tier 1 middle tower. Right now, Luminosity, when you have this kind of a lead early on, you want to start grouping up in the 5v5 situation, so BaRRaCCuDDa recognizing this, like, hey guys, we're ahead, let's force this team fight, let's force this tier 1 towers, let's force Gold Fury maybe afterwards.
Just none of them there could actually do anything about them taking that tier 1 tower. They were so scared. They had Athena on the right-hand side, they had Nemesis on the left trying to stop them. Meanwhile in the jungle, Kiki's trying to steal away the speed buff cheekily there, but instead he cheekily is going to fall back to base here. Big Baby not enough to get away from the wing gust of Isis.
Kiki not cheeky enough, and looks like we're going to have BaRRaCCuDDa trying to force the rest of EnVy away from this Gold Fury, as JeffHindla does land as well. Stealth finding the chain lightning, the detonate, but not that much damage.
The root was good, and now TeeVee's in trouble as the sun's rained down. The last hit will be Scary's, and he will pick that one up for himself as well. 8-0, 12 minutes in, and now they're looking for Cyclone.
The purification was used. Fear No Evil might find a kill into Jeff as the tower is there, but he's going to be able to retreat. Cyclone does fall. They're diving MLC stuff on the tier 2 tower. That's going to be another kill. So far, it's 4-0 exchange in the favor of Luminosity.
And now they're going to get tier 1 tower on the left-hand side. Dust at the beginning of that fight got poked below half health, had to go back to base. He's going to put some pressure on BaRRa. The fight, the First Blood Prince is here, trying to take on BaRRaCCuDDa's got the mana. The crit came through. He's got support as well from Kiki. Dust still going aggressive, has his airstrike available. Going to look to defend the Gold Fury as well. Can he add that to his titles as well? Let's find out. No, Gold Fury's already down. He airstrikes in, looks around, goes, nope, I'm out, peace. Meanwhile, Kiki surrounded, Kiki deleted, and now Dust on the run.
And now with Kiki dead, there's nowhere for Dust to go. His agility is down, unless TeeVee can somehow bail him out, but it doesn't look like it. The Spirit Ball does connect.
And then TeeVee has to disengage as well, using the lurk in the water to get away from the danger. Going to go to his back harpies and farm them up 12-0 in favor of LG. Gold lead of 8,000 experience lead of 13,000.
And the way Luminosity have been playing with their early game right now, with this kind of a lead in the mid game, I don't see any possibility right now for EnVyUs to come back into this game.
It's going to be very, very rough for them to do that. Skirty on low mana here, but still be able to bring down the tower of the in-hand and the support of JeffHindla there. Nobody from Envy there to defend the solo lane. You can see Kiki walking back to it. Doesn't have teleport available. That tower could fall in time, but instead they're just going to back to base, LG.
Normally when a team is behind, you try to look for options, like how are we going to get back into this game right now? But when you're 4 levels behind in the mid lane position as a Zeus, where you don't have CC except for your slow, you're relying on mostly your burst damage, but because you're this far behind leveled and you don't have your own buffs to take from you, your jungler doesn't have the speed buff to help you out in these situations, it's just not looking good for Envy.
Envy right now, all they've got is their left-hand side of the jungle. They're getting their own red buff, that's about it, and their back harpies on the left, but the right-hand harpies, back harpies have been taking speed, blue, every single time on rotation from LG. They've been there time and time again with the fire giant available. You can see them again, LG in position for the speed.
And that's something that they've been consistently doing. They're going to keep capitalizing in this with their experience lead as well as their item lead. And this is something that they have to do if they want to close out the game. Consistently strip the buffs away and then look for these tier 1 towers.
Well, they're looking for Kiki more often than not. And Kiki just recognizes TeeVee was already there for him. He will fall down, as will his tower. Big group on the left-hand side from Envy looking to pressure BaRRaCCuDDa, who's perfectly fine under the tower at 2-0 and 3. Going to head back to base, already completing the Igval there. Barry's quite happy on the left-hand side, even with 3 members around him.
Yeah, I don't think he sees CycloneSpin that's hiding inside the borders. He's waiting to try to go over that
Dust
wall
just wants
whenever
to kill.
needed.
This is what it is. Dust wants to kill. He's gone all in under the tower. Dust uses the agility. Has to airstrike away to safety again. But Barry's giving chase. Barry's going to show the first blood Brits. What's up there? Fear no evil and Sanctuary used, though, from Barry to get away from the danger. Good top from JeffHindla. Gives Dust aggro. Dust goes down to JeffHindla. He'll get credit for the kill. As now Cyclone goes back in looking for the pickup on BaRRaCCuDDa. But Barry's going to trade out. Somersault under the tower goes Cyclone. One more hit will do it. And Barry gets a kill as BaRRaCCuDDa starts to clean up with the rest of LG.
Jump for jump favoring Luminosity so far. Andinster does
They're gonna
fall
kill.
to Kiki so far, so it is a 3-for-1 trade right now. And the
Go on,
question
Kiki.
is, I was going to say, can Kiki find a second kill for
That's
Envy?
Envy surrendered there just because they didn't want Kiki to get another kill.
They
That's
got a
what it was.
kill. Andinster died.
Andinster died. That was the main thing on the side. Unfortunately for Envy there, LG looked very, very good in that game. They just couldn't get the way back into it. Right after the start, it just straight away, all in.
They had too much early game Luminosity for Envy to handle. The ISIS early game with Nemesis, the Ravana bullying Vamana constantly. There was just not much he could have done.
Not much he could have done at all there. So let's go.